Okay, if you guys can, Algebra 1, if you cannot figure out some of these, here's a video I'm going to make. Make sure you still need to hand in the document with the answers, okay? So you got two answers, okay? Now label it A, B, C. So you got A is your x squared, your x is your b, constant's your c. When we have A, B, C, we have to have it equal to 0, okay? So we can start factoring. Right now we don't have a 0. How do you get a 50 to 0? You subtract it, and now I have 0. But I need to subtract 50 to the other side. Now 50 was a c term. There's no c's on the other side, so I put minus 50 up here after everything, okay? C. So now line it up with your new equals 0. You put your A first, then your B, then your C. Okay, now you can go into your factoring. GCF. And then my table, and I will make the parentheses down here. So GCF 1, 5, and 10 would just be a 1. I can't do an X because there's this number here at the end that doesn't have an X connected, so the GCF's irrelevant. And that's going to be that way on all these problems, so I'm going to quit drawing the box. Eventually you'll need to bring it back, but not in this assignment. So 1 times negative 50 is negative 50. So if I have a negative, okay, that's a positive times a negative, and we have to add to try to get to plus 5. So I start dividing. 50 divided by 1 is 50. 1 plus negative 50, no. Okay. Positive, negative. 50 divided by 2 is 25. 2 plus negative 25, nope, that's wrong. Okay. 50 is not divisible by 3, it's a decimal. Or 4, if you divide it by 5, you get 10. Now, if I add 5 plus negative 10, I got the right number, so I'm done dividing. I just need to switch the sign so it is a sign I want. So plus 10 minus 5. Now, if your A is 1, you just ditch it, okay? And make 2 parentheses, x minus 5 times x plus 10. Now in the first assignment, that's all you had to do, but now you just go F1, F2, and you set each of those equal to 0. So x minus 5 equals 0, x plus 10 equals 0. So I add 5, I get 5. I subtract 10, 0 minus 10 is negative 10. Okay. Number 2. X to this is the easiest of the bunch because you don't have to rewrite it. So 2 answers. You got A, B, and C. Okay. You need to label your A, B, and C. Okay. GCF would just be 1. I wouldn't be able to do X with it, so I'm just going to skip that nonsense and go to my table. The bottom half's for me to write the parentheses out. So 1 times 20 is 20, positive. Okay. So that would be a negative times a negative, or a positive times a positive. You can always switch it, though, if it's wrong. But the signs have to be the same on a positive product, because the only way to get a positive product is if the signs of the factors match. So add to plus 9. So divide 20 by 1, you get 20. That adds to negative 21. If I divide 20 by 2, I get 10. Nope. 20 is not divisible by 3, that's a decimal, so skip it. 20 divided by 4 is 5. If I add those, it's negative 9, so I have the right numbers, I just need to change the signs. So plus, plus. Right number, wrong sign is easy to fix, okay? Because a positive times a positive is also positive 20. Now your A is 1, go up and ditch that 1 now. Because when you make your parentheses, you just want to see the x second, because you know that's x times x, and then plus 4, plus 5. Okay, so F1, F2. So x plus 4 could equal 0, x plus 5 could equal 0. So that's negative 4 and negative 5. Also, really the answers are just the opposite of what's in here. Okay, I'll do the last two, especially 4. Some of you probably got to 4. You're like, what the heck? Okay. Okay, there's 2 answers. Okay, so I got an A is my x squared, x is my b. If it doesn't have an x, it's a c. I got 2 c's, man. What's up with that? Well, that's why you have to get it equal to 0, okay? So you're going to minus 7, but you have a c over here where you can minus 7 under the negative 8, okay? So you have 1x to the second minus 2x, and it's not 1. You don't take 8 minus 7. It's negative 8 minus 7, which is negative 15. And now I'm ready to rock and roll, okay? One times negative 15, negative 15. So a negative is a positive times a negative. I need to add the 2 factors to make negative 2. So divide 15 by 1, you get 15. That does not add to negative 2. 15 is not even divisible by 2. Okay. So now divide 15 by 3. You get 5. I think if you add those, that's negative 2. So we have it. We don't even need to change the signs because I want negative 2. So A's 1. Ditch the 1. In the next week's assignment, the A ain't going to be a 1, which is what you'll have to fix, but for now it is. So x plus 3 minus 5. F1, F2. So x plus 3 could equal 0, or x minus 5 could equal 0. So I subtract 3, I get negative 3. I plus 5, I get positive 5, and those are the 2 answers. Okay, last one, but this one's a doozy. You got to be very careful and pay attention to what you're doing. Some of you might have tried doing this assignment and you couldn't get it to work. X squareds, find your x to the second, that's A. Find your x, that's your B. Find numbers without x's, those are c's, both of them. Okay. Okay, well I guess we got to get rid of both of these. Both these we have to get to 0 separately. So I minus 8x. Do I have a b over there? I don't. So I put minus 8x behind it and label it b, okay, because it's still a b. And plus 10, but you already have a c over there, so you're going to plus 10 to the 5. Now when you write this, it's got to be a, b, c. So a, 1x second. B is your minus 8x. And then C, we don't know, we have to add 5 to 10, it's 15. Now I'm gold, okay? GCF's not worth doing because it's just 1. Okay, 1 times 15 is 15. It's positive 15. So we'll put the signs the same. We'll start with them as negative. I think they're both going to be negative because they have to add negative 8, which would make sense. 15 divided by 1 is 15. Nope. 15 divided by 2 is a decimal. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Cha-ching. That adds up to negative 8. A is a 1. Get rid of it. Okay. I put it there so I have an A. Okay. But then I get rid of it when it's time to make the parentheses because I just want to look at x squared. So x minus 3 minus 5. So F1, F2. So x minus 3 could equal 0, x minus 5 could equal 0. So plus 3, you get 3. Plus 5, you get 5.